What is good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are gonna have the Bogan 32 completed, on the ground, rolling, bonnet back on, ready to go to an alignment and start shredding. I'm super excited. The RB25 in there sounds incredible. We've got a lot of work to get done fabrication-wise to hook up the intercooler, the exhaust, and all that type of stuff, but very first, we need to solve a big problem. So at the end of this video, we're gonna have this car rolling and driving by itself, so stick around for that. But first, we need to solve something with the angle kit real quick. So have a look at this.
Subscribe.
Everything about the knuckles on this car, it actually has reverse Skyline knuckles on it. It feels really, really good. We've got a very standard Kazuma 25mm extended lower arm with the GK Tech front tension arms. Now, the issue is right now, the tension arms are at the max in the short, right? Like adjustability wise, we can't go in anymore, but the arm is actually a little twisted back. And on the other side, it was even more pushing back, which meant we were hitting here. And we have no caster adjustability to bring it back forward. And the only option is to bring it this way. So I think, now I'm not 100% sure on this. We're about to find out and go to UpGarage and compare. But I think these arms are for S14, S15, R33, 34 Skyline. I don't think these are for a 32. And I remember it was pretty tight squeezing them in here and I just kind of forced it in there. So there's a good chance that these are too long and the S13 to R32 ones will be a little shorter and we'll actually have adjustability and this will be straight again. Because we're having a fair bit of issues where it was super just darty and easy to over rotate. It was actually a little hard to drive and you had to really drive on your toes. So I'm gonna look into that. We're gonna quickly take one of the arms with us to UpGarage. We're gonna measure and compare it against an S13 one, and then from there, we'll probably just buy whatever they have in stock, D-Max or whatever, so that we can get this thing super good alignment-wise, and then those arms will end up going on the abandoned S15 when that gets together. But anyways, for now, let's go to UpGarage, let's get some parts. 2, 3, we're gonna go to Costco and buy lunch and some more shop towels because we're out of that, and then we'll come back to this and finish this car. So don't go anywhere.
A few moments later.
We have arrived at Car Part Heaven here in Japan. Seems like UpGarage doesn't stock them brand new anymore, but we did find a couple like pairs of TN ones and stuff that they have for sale. And looking at them, they actually look longer than the GK Tech ones. So I'm not sure. We're gonna go back to the drawing board and try to just figure out what's going on with the car. I mean, there's a possibility the subframe's bent or something like that, but we'll tackle that later on today. For now though, we're gonna go get lunch and then we'll come back and give us another shot. But the shop has actually been kind of reorganized. There's a ton of stuff that's been moved around and all the shelving's different. And it looks like there's tons of used parts now, which is awesome. So I might come back here another time and check it out, but lots of stuff. Ooh, intercoolers actually. I've been thinking about maybe putting a GTR one on, but no, that's too expensive, $300. That's a 34 stock one though. 32 ones usually are a bit cheaper. Tons of parts, alternators and all that stuff. Need to come back here later and suss it out. We're back at the shop now, and what we believe may have been the issue was actually one of the elongated holes here. So we're gonna try and get that as close to the further like forward option, and that way it'll try to help pull the arm forward. But that aside though, we'll worry about that later when it's on an alignment rack. We can always order another set of those just in case too, if it does turn out they are different. The main thing that I need to focus on is fabrication right now. We have this really good intercooler. The only problem is it is return like flow. So what happens is both of these pipes come up here for the OEM kind of style RB setup. Now obviously we have a forward facing plenum. Makes no sense for us to just do another pipe back here to that plenum. What we want to do is cut this off here on the end tank, and we want to add a pipe here that goes up and straight into the throttle body through this side, which means we're gonna have to cut a body hole here and all that type of stuff, but it should be fairly doable. We're dealing with cast here, which is usually pretty hard to weld. It's just annoying to work with because it's normally, it's porous, so it absorbs a lot of stuff. So as long as we clean it really well, it should be good, and put a bunch of heat into it. But yeah, we're gonna be chopping this off. Also, not using so much long pipes means more throttle response, less lag and stuff like that too. So we're gonna do that, chop that. Hopefully we can just kind of turn it and I can just have a nice 90 straight there and up through the body of the car. And then after that, we're gonna do wastegate dump. We're very fortunate that the exhaust dump on the back of this turbo actually matched up and lined up really, really well. The only thing I had to do was shorten it a little bit and just take out like 3 or 4 centimeters. So I did that, it's already bolted in, it's already got the exhaust on the car. From here, just do this, gate, and a few other little tiny things to touch her up, and we'll be made. quickly remind you guys that more than ever, we need your help to let the YouTube algorithm know that you love this content. So make sure you smash the like button, write us a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be awesome to get that gold plaque at the end of the year. But also, I wanna tell you guys about 2 mystery packs that we're doing on the website. You get a mystery hoodie, a mystery shirt, and 4 canned air fresheners. So these are 2 separate packs. They're heavily discounted right now on SAMMIT.net. And at the same time, anyone that places an order for a clothing item, especially if it's like our new shorts or socks, this is our simple branding merch line that we've been working on. We've got shirts coming and hoodies coming at some time soon, but you can already get the socks and you can also get the shorts. These are my favorite things to wear ever, just purely because they're light, they're black, they also don't have any issues when it comes to, you know, staining and stuff in the workshop. They're great, and a super simple logo there, and they match with the socks. They're awesome, so go grab those. Any piece of clothing that you buy, whether it's a shirt, a hoodie, shorts, socks, or even a SAMMIT face mask, we're gonna be throwing in random free Garrett products. When I say Garrett products, I mean these, check these out. Mechanics gloves, Garrett mechanics gloves. You've probably seen me using these while welding and working on the cars. We've got jackets, we've got beanies, we've got camelback Garrett water bottles. I mean, you name it, we've got it in here. We've even got these little, what are these called? Budgie smugglers? I don't know what these are. No, that's Speedos. This is to keep your beer cold. Koozie, that's it. Thank you, Riley. We've got tons of Garrett merch in here, hats, all this stuff, shirts. Oh, these jackets are like freaking $200 jackets. These things are so warm in winter. Yeah, so just pretty much, we have like 30, 40 items here. So all of those are just gonna go in until they run out, and 3 lucky people are gonna get 2 little tiny jars with bearing material that came out of the 2J. So go place your order on SAMMIT.net right now. Also, for anyone that ordered the Resurrecting the Dead shirt, that was a pre-order. That actually just arrived all today from a manufacturer, and it's all being shipped out. Usually we get our pre-orders out a lot sooner, but we had a little bit of a quality issue and had to get everything remade. So thank you so much for your patience there. Everything's going out in the next few days. Chi-chan will be working her butt off. But yeah, go to SAMMIT.net, place your order, mystery hoodie pack, and also the mystery shirt pack, and any other clothing item, free Garrett merch. And 3 of you are gonna get bearing material from the 2J. Now, if I was smart, I would have done this with the engine out, but luckily it's super easy to get to. And that's that. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spot welds, and this little battery trays out. Glad we got under there because there's a bit of rust. Not that it really matters because this is a missile, but I am gonna treat that now that we have access to it, and I'm gonna be cutting my hole here for that. The battery's still gonna fit here really nice this way. I might just have to get a not so tall battery, but there's a good chance that the hood will clear this as well. And if it does, we're mint. The positive's here, so it's not gonna be touching anything. It's a carbon fiber hood, so it's not gonna short out on anything, so that's good. But we'll obviously probably just tape up the terminals to be safe. And I can make a custom battery support that bolts into the same bolt that the coolant reservoir's in, that then comes down into there, and we still have room for all the pipe and everything. I don't wanna spend any money on this car as much as possible. That's why we're kinda reusing a lot of stuff from other projects and other cars. Like this engine's initially from the 33.4. It's a stock bottom end. We fixed the head because it had leaky valve stem seals, and the valve guides were also pretty loose. So we had all of those replaced. I obviously then put new valve stem seals in the whole thing, new valve springs from Tomei because they were pretty worn too, the OEM ones, and you know, pond cams, and that's about it. Everything else is unchanged. And everything that's kind of on here, obviously we partner and work with companies. So we want this car to be as budget friendly as possible for us because it is a missile. Welcome to the Vibrant corner here at the shop. As you can see, we have a ton of product in from Vibrant, and I'm really excited. Obviously, we're partnered with them and we work with them on all of our builds. And it's super easy for me to have this stuff just ready to go so we can whip a car out as fast as possible. Looking at everything over there, I think we're gonna need 2 90s and a 45. I think that should actually get us covered with reusing some of the other piping and stuff. So we're gonna go up here, grab 2 of these 90s straight off the shelf. The best thing about Vibrant stuff too is pretty much out of the box, it's ready to weld. It's clean, it's good to go. So highly recommend grabbing some of this stuff. We're gonna be using 2.75 inch for this. That's a 45-degree guy there. Not only does Vibrant sell aluminum, stainless, titanium, but tons of other stuff that you're gonna want. You're gonna see me using some of these little bungs and stuff later for the IAT sensor, as well as even the, what do you call it? The idle control pipe and stuff like that. You'll see, you'll see. It looks like we've gotten pretty lucky with this. It looks like we're gonna be able to just go 90 straight down here to a 90 here, shorten some of the runoff and stuff like that, and we should be able to tuck straight into the intercooler. I think that's gonna work like that, but we're not gonna really know where to do the piping until I modify the intercooler, so I need to start working on that now. So let's get the saber saw out and chop that end tank up. So it looks like it's not going to be as easy as we hoped with this end tank. I was hoping we'd be able to just kind of like flip this around and it would work. I mean, we could try to, but it's just going to go straight in the chassis rail there. And we could just weld it on there and then have a 90 there, but I'd rather have this straight 90 like that. To do that, we're going to have to cut more of this end tank out and kind of reshape it a bit, which is doable. You know, it should be okay, it just means it's a little bit more work. Now the other problem too is like we don't want it to be too close to the chassis here. So I'm also just thinking about just maybe actually using one of the aluminum pipes, like one of these 90s, and cutting it out and welding into there, and then we'll use some flat aluminum that we have sheeting to go over that. That's like you know, 5 or 10 mil thick. We have some thick stuff that we can use. But yeah, looks like we're modifying this end tank a lot more than I was anticipating. We'll see if I can get away using this tight radius 90 here, but it might be better that we go with like using one of the vibrant 90s and just kind of suck that in some. We'll see. So we just finished test fitting, tacked it in on the front here, and everything's in position where it needs to be. So we're good. We now know that we need to close in all of this, and it's a pretty decent amount to close in. One thing I always like to do is check and see the pieces we've already cut off it to see if we can make anything work. And there's a small little slither here I cut off, and check this out. This little gap here, perfect. It's like literally meant to fit in here. Look at this, wait for it, let me line this up from over here. Oh. And you can't make that up. It's like perfect. So I'm gonna cut this off nice and flush here, and then we should be able to just box in these other two pieces. Should just be two pieces here to box all this in, and then we'll be good. That's it. And then we'll have a nice angle coming off there that'll line up with the rest of the intercooler piping. I was hoping we're gonna be able to reuse some of this, but it doesn't look like it's gonna fit any of this stuff here, so we'll just cut off some stuff from some flat stock or whatever we have lying around that's in aluminum. So we're done now with welding the intercooler. Things went really, really smooth. It was actually quite a lot easier than I was anticipating. You can see the one piece we put in there, the one piece we put in there. Everything welded up pretty simple too. Just a little tricky to kind of get in some tight spots, but overall really, really good penetration and all that kind of stuff. It was really good. I mean, it all comes down to prepping aluminum. Like you could be the best welder in the world, and if your aluminum isn't prepped right, you were gonna have a really hard time. But this turned out really, really good. I took my time, made sure we cleaned everything, so that's good. Now that's coming off in the direction that we need it to, and that's all sealed up, and I don't think we're gonna have any boost leak issues there. I made sure I was putting in like 200 amps to melt those things together. So it came out really good. We'll let this cool down. We'll then have to clean any shavings and stuff out of it and blow it all out. And then I'll finish the other two piping. We gotta take the turbo housing off, the front compressor housing, and weld that up. And then it's then wastegate, dump pipe, and we're good. So I guess more montage of welding maybe, or measuring and welding. Fabrication day. Got our intercooler pipe tacked together. Find out if this is gonna fit good or not. I gotta say though, this is a pretty nice looking pipe. I like it. Let's see how we look. So we wanna have like a centimeter of space between like up here and down there for the coupler, and holding this here and holding that there with like 1 centimeter either side. We're money, man. We are money. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that. I love it when a plan comes together. Who needs math? No, I'm joking. It's a good thing if you have math, but the slow way, I guess, would be this. Or I don't know, whatever the slow way. Whatever, you do you. Just use masking tape, pens, and pipes. Just learn how to do it. You seriously, teach yourself a skill like this and you'll always have work. You'll always have a job if you learn to weld. I'm not joking. Welders are needed everywhere. You can even weld underwater, do you know that? People in Japan for the military get paid like stupid money to weld stuff underwater. Anyways, weld this up. I need to put a bung in it for the IAT, so I'll grab that real quick and mark where I want to put that. We'll weld this pipe up, and then it's the other side, and we're good to go.
A few moments later.
Pipe is all made. Everything went really nice. Even got our nice little 1/8 MPT aluminum bung on there. So that's now good for the IAT sensor, which is sitting here somewhere that I can just throw in real quick. I'll tighten that up. Well, this goes in there like that, onto that coupler. And we got this coupler here. Slide that on there. And then slide it onto this one. And we have one complete intercooler pipe. Nice. That pipe's done now. Time to do this stuff. Where is the old pipe that used to be there? So we're gonna reuse this. Obviously, we're gonna put this on here. And we'll probably have to chop the 45 a bit. Need to get a coupler on there. And then line this up. But my goal is to kind of just go straight across into a tight radius 90 there. And then from the turbo, the tight radius 90 will be extended out to 2.75 inch, and there'll just be straight coupler there. I don't want any reducers if possible. Nice. On there. Have a looking up here. In place. That's good. All the intercooler pipes are done. Yay. So now, the gate pipe's done too. Luckily, we were super fortunate. All we had to do was pretty much use a straight pipe straight off it. That's done. She's ready to go straight on, straight down in between the power steering rack and the dump pipe. So that works out great. Otherwise, that's it, hose clamps, and then this thing's pretty much all together. The only other thing we probably need to do is a 45 mil pipe here for the intake, and that's it, which is done. Man, I'm hyped. Means that this thing can get tuned, you go to Ebisu circuit, and then we bring the chaser back and do the same thing to the chaser with an RB. I'm joking, it'll be a JZ, but it's a little hurt the motor. We'll talk about that later. this thing up with all the piping done. I'm stoked. We actually were able to just use the old Bogan 32 intake, but I changed the to a brand new K&N filter. Otherwise though, all the intercooler piping's done. Check this out, the battery's still here. Nice hole here. Everything clears, is freaking perfect. I'm really stoked. Oh, and we have a working gas pedal now. We had to make a custom little bracket that held the new throttle cable, because you can't use a stock throttle cable because it's too short. But luckily I had a custom made one sitting on the shelf for a different project I was planning to do later on. But anyways, we're good. We got a throttle cable, that's the main thing. Everything's good. I think like the main stuff that we still have to do is we need a catch tank. I've ordered one. I kind of want to try and mount it here or in here, just so it's not on the hot side of the car in case something goes wrong. I don't want to like have any lines with oil in them catching on fire. Try to stay away from the hot exhaust. I probably want to heat wrap the downpipe, and otherwise should be good. We were able to reuse a ton of stuff from the Bogan 32, which is great. It kind of all went together. The only other thing I have to do is there's a little plug here that's wired into the harness from Wiring Specialties. You can see we only have 2 wires coming out of it. We can use these extra wires here that go to the ECU with changing a pin around and stuff like that, and I can use this plug for 2 wires to go to the VCT solenoid so that we can control variable cam timing. That's the only other thing I need to do. It's about an hour's worth of work. And that's that. This car's pretty much good. I'm gonna get the bonnet on real quick, put it on the ground, make sure it drives and moves, and that's that. I'm so excited. This thing's gonna rip. I know it's gonna feel good. It's literally the same recipe as what we have in my 33.4, but that's a Neo, so it's a little more stronger. That's why we went with the smaller rear housing, so this thing can't make too much power and blow itself up. But everything else is pretty much identical, except for this manifold. Short runner manifold should take out a little bit of mid-range, but that's why the smaller rear housing should kind of fill that gap in, and hopefully it'll feel pretty much identical to that, but in a 32 chassis, and only 400 horsepower, 100 horsepower less. I told you guys we were going to do it by the end of the video, and we did. Make sure you smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe. Once again, the algorithm needs you to tell them more than ever that you love this kind of content, and I will see you all in the next video. Hopefully, we'll be shredding this very soon, but we need to take it to the dyno. We need to get numbers. I'm hoping for exactly 420.69 horsepower. Put your guesses down in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.